Oh, hello again. So, the third night in Alpharetta, Georgia is now complete. And, I really enjoyed last night, first night. I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy, but boy, just looking back does not compare. Each night, I think they just ramped it up and just going all out tonight, really. And, continue like last night, we got a lot of old songs right in the first set. I mean, boom, 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 just opening up with that trio right there. And I combined these three, and not that Jen and Gumbo are new or anything, but once we got to Jen, the story had kind of changed a little bit. Our first big monster of the night. And we get, as Jen's, it's always going to be, no matter the era, no matter how much the band evolves or which direction they go, Bathtub Gin is always just going to be there. And maybe like a little bit of a sleeper for like a Mount Rushmore type of song. Maybe because it's always over here or often over here and not as often over here. But Bathtub Gin early, often after the Buried Alive, Wilson, NICU, and then we get into Gumbo. Okay, Trey's vocals a little more in line on Gumbo. Limb by Limb, if you're like me and you're just thirsty for peaks all the time, Limb by Limb delivers that for you there. And then we get the debut tonight. All right, a debut song most nights. Tonight, another Tab song that was played back at the Mission Ballroom, The Well. And I saw where on .net where they said they had sound checked it tonight. And it starts out as just like an okay song. Like, all right, it's not bad, I'm not going to hate on this one. And then it just takes this really crazy turn, kind of gets hard, gets really, it seemed like, man, what were you so upset about? It's kind of just like a mad, angry, hard song. And then, had a little bit of a sci-fi soldier feel to it, perhaps. I even thought, like, that's another. I haven't listened to that a whole lot. I mean, when the Get More Down album came out, I might have listened to it once, I suppose. But so the Well coming through, I would say, maybe we'll get some more of that one. Some of these debut songs have been like, man, I'm giving that one a thumb down. This one I'm giving a thumb up, and then Mountains in the Mist, a song that I like, but didn't have a whole lot to, didn't have a lot of time to we're getting late in the first set here. Mountains in the Mist, much more preferred over here, but it's always going to be welcome right here, especially if you need a moment to calm down throughout the set. But then following that up with Halfway to the Moon, okay, giving Paige a chance. Paige McConnell wants to get involved. Trey not stepping on him quite as much. Not really at all, actually. Last night it was, what was it? The, oh, I always want it this way. Just seemed like Trey was screaming over top of him, like, let me finish my vocal first, my man. Not necessarily the case tonight in Halfway to the Moon, and then Split Open and Melt. At some point, I know that people are always carrying on about the lights. And on Couch Tour, it's like, okay, yeah, you get a glimpse of it, you kind of feel, but nothing like being there. And then, but on Couch Tour tonight, the lights, I mean, the jam and Split Open and Melt at one point, I mean, really, it seemed like the music was just supporting the light show that was going on. I mean, CK certainly earned like the 5 in that nickname that fans have given him. He really felt like just like he was part of the band right there. And the webcast, bravo to them for leaving it on that shot. They like kind of, just far back enough where you can see the entire deal, not feeling forced to like, oh, we need to get back in on Trey, let me get a shot of Fishman. No, they just, and it must have been, I don't know, 3 minutes of the Split Open and Melt jam, just leaving it there on that shot. And I mean, oh man, it would have been would have been outrageous to get rid of it. I mean, just absolutely outstanding. I'd never seen anything like that on the lights from the on Couch Tour. Just completely blown away there. And the Split Open and Melt, I mean, I don't know, I got so carried away and caught up in the lights. The jam itself, like I said, it was just sort of supporting the lights. And then eventually we get back around to close-ups of Trey's fingers on the guitar and his rad shirt that he had on tonight. And then at one point they tried to go back, but they just couldn't recapture the moment there. And so, man, if you were there, I'm sure. I mean, are you like me? If you were there, you're like, yeah, I don't know. Split Open and Melt was indeed playing, but that light show just completely blew my mind. So then we get over here to the second set, Mike's Groove, and then a Mike's Carini, Weekapaug. That is something I do not recall writing on a whiteboard before. So all three of these, kind of like the first set, all very good. The Carini had like this, at one point this jam had like a real classic rock feel to it. Like, maybe are they playing something here? No, I'm not sure. Then it had a little bit of a Tweezer feel, like a Tweezer reprise tempo almost at some point. And it was like, all right, I just prefer this. It seems like we're missing some of the Led Zeppelin or Stones or Beatles, Hendrix covers or whatever, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with those not being there, especially if we're going to get it mixed in like a classic rock jam right into the Carini. And then Mike's and Weekapaug, well, on each side of it. And then sand, maybe not the sand that throughout the teens, 14, 17, 19, all those years, sand, I just felt like, it was one of their best songs, one of my very favorite songs. But, it's a little bit, developing a little bit differently now. And then, again, it had points. There was one point I knew we were late here, but similar to Tweezer and Ruby Waves, it sort of took this turn. It was like, oh no, buckle up, here we go. But was not necessarily the case. But luckily, that turn did not immediately take us into Chomper City. We just got a Reba. And, I've come full circle, apparently, at the time of these recaps. 2014, I actually said I'm not a big Reba guy. And I am absolutely a Reba guy now. That type of jam, that Reba jam tonight, if you, like I said here, I'm thirsty for peaks, but if we're not going to get that throughout the night, man, I'll take that all day. Just kind of chill, like the early part of that Tweezer jam last night. Maybe even snuck a little bit of that in the Carini, or was it Sand maybe? Yeah, maybe it was Sand. One of these Carini or Sand had a little bit of that. Now this sort of had that up tempo. It was a little up tempo, Gave Fishman a chance to kind of crash and ride. And then, so then we got more here ending the set. Ending the run of just absolute, Mike's, Carini, Weekapaug, Sand, Reba, and then more. Which one does not belong? These last three all have 4 letters in the word. So then the night the lights went out in Georgia with John Fishman on lead guitar and vocals. And I'll tell you what, by the time we got down here to the Hold Your Head Up, toward the end of the night, the lights went out. And a decent job by Fishman on vocals, nobody else in the band was probably going to cover that song and carry it like it needed to be. So why not have Fishman on it? And he apologized after the fact. He said, someday you can tell your grandchildren that you actually paid for that. And then Trey getting a little Hold Your Head Up in. I was wondering, why is Fishman even holding the guitar? Oh, he had his moment to solo. We got a John Fishman solo right there. So this was beautiful. I don't even know what to do, man. I don't even want to mark that up with the red. It was so amazing. So then we get into You Enjoy Myself. Kind of unbelievable this late in the night. Trey said it was for the guy in the shirt. I saw the shirt on social media. I believe the shirt said something basically Phish has not played YEM in Georgia in 20 years. They absolutely hate us and they refuse to play YEM here. That was the gist of the shirt. I think it was, and that was in fact a fact. I think it went back to 2003. In fact, a fact. And they got it, man. It seemed like the band was like, what shirt are you talking about, Trey? What are we getting ready to play? You were getting ready to play You Enjoy Myself. And while it maybe felt a tad rushed, did sneak in a little vocal jam, gave Trey one more time. If you didn't like that Fishman solo, you got a Trey solo, certainly. And he let you have it. Whew, I'm out of breath. 8 minutes, that's deep. Well, it was big, man. We had to carry on about these lights. That was absolutely incredible. I loved this show. I'm sure ultimately somebody out there will not have liked it. Some nights that's me. Bethel Woods last year. That was me. That was that guy. Look at that. That's a beauty. I don't care how long we've gone. All right, guys. I will let you go now. You've given me enough of your time, and I really appreciate it every day here. Boom. Love you guys, and we will see you when the Phish returns. Man, I want to hear the well again. I want to hear the well again, man. Let's go.